DR. Okay, but Jazz gave it to me.
Okay.
You have.
All right. Sorry, I had to put up with her all the time. All the time.
There we go.
Right?
One note before we start, Aleah is the 10th player in Temple history to score 1,500 points, and only the second, with Fiona Fitzgerald being this other, with 1,500 points and 500 assists.
All right.
So that's it, Coach Rich.
Yes. I am in a better mood today because we played defense today. And that was important for us to bounce back from the last game and play defense. And we played team defense today, and we can see that on the stat sheet where we turned them over 25 times and had 12 steals. So, and we kept a couple of them from their average. So I'm happy.
What are you doing?
How is this? Okay. Ask Bean some questions.
Coach, can you tell us, out of the Memphis game, you mentioned, the effort was embarrassing. What was the focus this week, and, how did that shape the mentality coming into this game?
It was effort, and it was energy, and we talked about that earlier today. We talked about it this week, that energy does have an impact on our effort, which has an impact on how we play defense. And we went in there today, they knew that coming in, they realized it watching film, and they came in with that effort and energy today.
Oh yeah, towards the end of the game when Charlotte was getting more than their fair share of calls, we saw that Coach Richardson was giving everybody a piece of her mind. Do you feel as a player that a coach bringing energy like that is just as important as a player?
100%. That's why when I was in the portal, I chose to come here. I mean, I would choose her over anybody. I love playing for her, but that passion that she has, it kind of like lives through us, if that kind of makes sense. And it's fun, like playing for Coach Rich. She knows we were actually in reverse this time. I had to calm her down, and you'll never see. You'll probably one out of like 100 times you'll see me do that. But I think it's important for coaches to have as much energy, just as much energy as players. So I love playing for her. So.
Coach, it seems like every time you guys need like a rebound or a shot to end the run or to get yourself out of the funk, it seems to be how Nelson makes that play. How important is it, having her out there?
She's a very skilled player, and she rebounds the ball. She gets in position to rebound the ball. She can block shots. So, we made that comment in the huddle that we need a rebound, and she went out there and got some rebounds.
Could you kind of just take me through like the final 4 minutes there with all the hecticness, the fouling out, all the, just what's going through your mind when all that craziness is happening, all the foul calls and stuff?
Well, I was trying to get an explanation of what they did, and I couldn't. And, a couple of them were saying, well, that wasn't my call, that was their call. So they were throwing each other under the bus. So, we maintained our poise though, and we had a lot of people in foul trouble, and some of those calls got some of them out of the game, but we were still poised, and the rest of the team, the people that came in for them, stepped up and knew that it was gonna be more of a battle than we anticipated because of all the fouls.
And you mentioned maintaining that poise. I mean, you only have a 3-point lead, and Tristan Taylor goes in and hits that big layup there to put you guys up by 5. I mean, can you just talk about how important she was there and just how important she's been?
Yeah, Tristan Taylor is a fearless freshman. She's a fearless freshman and doesn't get rattled very often. I mean, she comes from a winning program, so she's used to the pressure. She's used to playing on a national stage, so she's fearless when she comes in. And to have the two of them working together, it's awesome. It's a good feeling for me as a coach.
Coach, can you talk about your team's just willingness to share the ball? Usually when things get chippy, you can kind of go into ISO ball, but your team just still continues to just shares the basketball.
Yeah, they absolutely did. And we had 17 assists on 24 baskets, and that showed that we were looking for each other. We had a lot of passes that we got underneath their press and their pressure. So we were looking for each other, and that's really good.
Aleah, towards I think it was the end of the third quarter, you had 2 major threes from the same spot, and it looked to be a similar play. Could you walk me through how you set that up?
You said, what was the last part of that question? I'm sorry.
Could you walk me through how you set up that play?
I didn't even set it up. Look, they just said, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't set it up. What I heard from the sideline was, be ready to shoot. Coach Niche was screaming at Coach Miles, Coach Curley, all the assistant coach, Coach Shanita, even Coach Rich, everybody's saying be ready to shoot. And I think there's a couple shots that I passed up, but I think in those big moments, Coach Rich always told me like big time players make big time plays, and that's what I felt like in that moment. And I knew that we had to make a 3, and it just got to me in the right time. I had enough space to shoot the ball, but I think it was a difference with me being ready to shoot than from the other shots that I missed. I wasn't really ready to shoot, but I can't really tell you how I said that. I'm gonna be honest. You know, look, I was just there, but I mean, I'm glad that I made the shots and we got a good win.
And you see that the assist 17 on 24, so they're looking for each other. And she's
Yes.
open there and ready, got her feet set and ready. They got her the ball.
Yes, that's what it is. When we kept driving and bringing in people, like T made a great pass. Like she drove, brought in 3 people, kicked it out to me. It was a perfectly drawn play. So.
Aleah, what's the number 4 team?
Oh, so when I was 4, my mom had stage 4 breast cancer. I started playing basketball at 4, so never since then, like I always just rock 4. When I was at Towson, I was 4. Here, the reason why I can't, Candace Dupree, her numbers obviously retired, great player. So I would just wear the chain. I even have it on my
She has
right
a
calf,
tattoo, too.
number 4. So just always 4 wherever I go. That's just kind of like what I've been. My dad calls me 4. So and then it has 4, and then it has my name because I'm just so bougie. So. You can't not love me. Come on, Coach Rich. Sometimes, but yeah.
Aleah, what did that milestone that you hit tonight mean to you, just for your career?
Well, first, I'm glad I didn't cry because I'm a crier when it comes to little milestones like this. Like, I'm so sensitive, but it hasn't really hit me yet. I'm gonna be honest. Like, it hasn't really hit me. It usually probably hits me when I like go back to the nest and lay down. I'm like that. You know what I'm saying? But it feels good. I think what I'm most proud of is not only my teammates, everybody who's played with me throughout my 5 years of college, but I think I'm proud of myself. You know, I put in the effort, I put in the work, I put in the countless hours to, be able to like make those big time shots and to make shots and to make layups and make plays. So I'm gonna kind of like, I don't really usually do this, but I like give credit to myself. So I'm proud of myself that I hit that milestone. So it's a good feeling.
Coach, you guys made your first couple of threes, and it seemed like they became very overly aggressive in you guys' jump shots for the rest of the game. Can you just talk about that being a factor?
Yeah, we, and they switched up and they went to zone, and then we knocked down shots and they got out of zone, and they saw that we were hitting, and so they wanted to play tough defense. They called their pressure defense, where red, I think it is,
Yeah,
and
red
they would try to pressure us so the ball handler couldn't get it to one of our shooters.
Coach, with all the fouling, do you think it was more your players just not being accountable, or because they had 20 more free throws than you guys?
You want me to answer that for real? I questioned some, and I asked the refs, what did they do? And I told you some of them were deferring, and then that's what we have. I'm gonna be clipping some of those. So, but to have shoot 21 free throws in the 4th quarter, I mean, come on, we're not that much of a hacker. So.
When there are so many foul calls made like that, it can get pretty frustrating. How do you keep yourself cool, and more importantly, how do you keep the girls cool? How do you keep the players cool?
Well, they were pretty calm today, and they were poised. I was questioning, and that's out of my character, but it had gotten a little bad. It had gotten bad. And I told them that in the locker room, for them, and especially those that were in foul trouble, to be poised and not let it, get them out of the game. And then even when they fouled out, whoever came in stepped up for them and knew that we had to battle, because it was a little lopsided at the end.
Coach, can you talk about just being able to bounce back, like just playing against a team like Charlotte, tough loss versus Memphis last week. Charlotte's a really good team.
Yeah.
And when you lose a game like last week, it could be pretty easy to just come in here and say, oh, Charlotte's a really good team, it's going to be tough, but just kind of keep that mindset and be able to beat a pretty good team.
Yeah, we knew that, we are skilled. We know that we are better than we play sometimes. And they're finally realizing that. We knew Charlotte coming in, I think they're number 1 in the conference, but we didn't let that sway us. We knew we had to be us. And they played today. I asked for 1,000%, and they gave me 1,000% today.
And you coached against Kara Consuegra in your time at George Washington. So what was it like coaching against her at 2 different schools?
Yeah, I love Kara. I mean, we're friends too. So she does a great job. She was coach of the year in her conference 2 years ago, and she comes prepared and she recruits well. But I know I can recruit well too. Yeah. So, and I believe in my players too. And that's what happened today. She's great coach, a well-coached team. She has athletic players, and we do too. So, go to you.
All right, guys, we'll take one more. We have to go to autographs.
For you, Coach, I know this was Temple's autism awareness game.
Mhm.
So can you just kind of talk about like how much this game meant to you and like what it was like to get the win on today as well?
Yeah, this is, autism awareness is near and dear to my heart, and we try to, ever since I've been a head coach, we have a autism awareness game so that we can bring awareness to those that have autism on the spectrum. I personally have 2 children. 2 of my children are on the spectrum. And so I have 2 autistic children, and it's been a struggle, just having them to be accepted. And, and so I wanted to make sure we bring awareness. And then, if you look at the statistics, more and more people are being diagnosed as autistic. And there are different levels of it. There's a spectrum. And so my 2 kids are on different ends of the spectrum. My daughter is low functioning, very low functioning, and my son is intelligent as I don't know what, but he has other things. So it is a big spectrum, and I want people to be aware that there are others that are different from us, but they're human and we need to embrace them.
Well, thank you, guys. Appreciate you coming out.
Thanks,
Until
y'all.
next time.
Thanks, y'all.
Go Owls. I love the little